Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. We'll start off by giving tzedakah, because tzedakah is like Ula. And we'll continue on in Kuntres, finishing up base Aleph of Maamer Chav Zayin. We have Chav Zayin, Chav Ches. So we're basically 2 prakim left. Crazy stuff. Okay, we're also going to make sure to have in mind that in the schools of our learning, Yuval Kim, Bat, Miriam should be healthy and safe, should have only good. And all the soldiers and all the hostages and all the yidden Eretz Yisroel and all the yidden around the world should be healthy and safe. We should have enough of this galus and have Mashiach. Okay, let's continue. Page 381 at the top, or the second paragraph. We're talking about, first of all, what's the proper way of doing things. First know what's the proper way, and then where we're holding and where do we need to go. It's a very important lesson in life. You have to know where you're wanting to go. You know, if you know it's not good here, but you don't know where there is, then you're never getting anywhere. Right? You have to have good clarity on where is there. So what is there? There is the proper way of doing things is like we said yesterday, that whatever you learn it well, you understand it, and you figure out, how am I supposed to apply this to myself? How am I supposed to implement these ideas? I think a very important sort of side point, but it's very negaya to hear, is that result should never be a negative. It should never be a negative on ourselves. Everything that we learn and every avodah that we take should come out in a positive frame. We should come out positive, feeling better. It's not, so I learned today in the Maamer that I'm a loser. If that happened, then we didn't learn the Maamer properly. We missed something. It's a problem. Everything we learn should come out. I learned that I need to work on myself more because Hashem has a big mission for me. Hashem needs me. I'm very important. I need to do these things. And this is the attitude. Whatever it is, why do I do this? Not because I don't want to be a loser or a nebach, but I'm doing this because I'm important and I need to do this. You know, I need to take care of myself. People are relying on me. I'm going to make sure I'm doing the best that I can for myself to try to affect myself, help myself, and help the world around me. This is stum, very important point. That's what we said. That's the right way. Then we have that's the logical way. Then you have the shtustic way. There's the shtus in the kedusha, which is, and we're going to talk about this more today. You just do it. You know, there's no too many calculations. That way, I learned, I understood, I internalized, and I took in a message, and I try to work on myself. That's very orderly. It's very good. The shtustic way is, we just go. No discussions, no questions. I got to get up. I'm up. You know, it's very soldier-like. Let's see. The kedusha, just like the Jewish people, the stubbornness that we have but in holy matters, the take of God with a lot of strength, like giving up our lives. Kiddush Hashem, on sanctifying Hashem's name. That's not a logical thing. When someone tells a yid, and you see this unfortunately very much nowadays with this whole war that happened, so many yidden came out of the woodwork and are very strong, and very proud, and very expressing themselves very much. A lot of tefillins and a lot of putting on, doing more mitzvahs and stuff, and keeping Shabbos and lighting Shabbos candles and tzitzis and all these things. It's a stubbornness that the yid has that you'd think with all this crazy anti-Semitism that's coming up, they would go hide. And they don't want to say they're Jewish. They live their lives thinking to themselves, we're like everyone else. And then this happens and they stand strong and they're proud and they're Jewish. And to the extent that Shiur Hareg, they're even willing to sacrifice their lives. Not to go against. A yid can't separate himself from Hashem. And when they can have this strength, and this is the kedusha, the shtus the kedusha, you don't listen to Yitzhara, not to get drawn after the tavis of your heart. It becomes very clear, and you just this is what I'm doing. I'm not thinking, do I need to get up now? Yeah. Am I tired? We'll talk about it on the way to shul. Whatever it is. I need to go to bed now. Yeah, but I want to do this. We're going. I need to go to bed. And this is the shtus to kedusha. I need to go speak to this person, but I'm uncomfortable. We're going. The voice of uncomfortable is sitting down on the bench, and you're already walking towards a person and asking if they want to light Shabbos candles. And being that the person understands a general rule that every tainuk, pleasure, and desire, that's coming from just pure physicality, meaning I only desire it for the physical thing, whether it's taste or enjoyment, whatever it is. But there's no motive of holiness. Hashem doesn't like that. And that's not even the things that are forbidden. But Isur, Maamer, and specifically something that literally it's an avera. This is sort of, think about it in this sense. I remember one time I was in shul years ago. This guy came in. Whatever, it was a minor shul in Crown Heights, used to be. And this guy came in, and I guess he had learned I don't remember the whole story, but we were like talking with him, and he goes, I'm thinking I'm gonna start keeping Shabbos. Like, I don't know, it's hard, but I think I'm gonna try to do it. And I remember hearing that, and I've been keeping Shabbos for from the beginning. And I was like, whoa, that's so like interesting. That like Shabbos is a question for him, meaning he had at that point the ability. I can keep Shabbos, I can't keep Shabbos. And I'm not like putting down anyway. It's very amazing to hear. It just was like a very interesting. And that's what I was saying. There's like, when it comes to things, you could be on a level that, hey, can I do this? Can I not do this? So what we're saying is, when it comes to things that are asur, it's like when it comes to chas v'shalom, eating pork or something, people don't say, let me think about this. Let me have it. Like, I need to discuss it. I need to for bringing myself out of not wanting it. It's not even a question. It's obvious. This is what we're talking about. It's this shtus of kedusha. That's like, it's not even a question. Doesn't even come to my mind. I'm not gonna say, let me think about it. No, I need to explain to myself when it comes to waking up in the morning or going out to doing what we're meant to be doing, whatever, or doing mitzvayim. Then there's a whole cheshbon, a whole calculation. I think about it. What we're saying is, there's this level of shtus to kedusha. It just goes, just like they're not eating pork, just goes. There's not a question. You have to think about it. Keeping Shabbos, not like, am I going to keep Shabbos this week? It's, of course. So too with anything that's an avera that we know. That's what we have to learn, to know what's an avera. But it's an avera, it's wrong. We can do it, and even more on a deeper level, not just an avera, but something that's permissible. The Rasham is saying, even it's permissible. So you can say it's just ice cream, nothing wrong. But you can train yourself to have this shtus. It's like, yeah, but this is not what Hashem wants, and there's no benefit for me to have this. So I'm not doing it. If there's no benefit for me in serving Hashem, in connecting to the Eibishter, in bringing more godliness into the world, I'm not doing it. Now, it could be that having that ice cream could be whatever. You had a very hard day and got told up by 1 million people, or whatever it is. It was intense. And you meant to hang out with someone, but you're not in a good mood. And if you have some ice cream, it's going to put you in a good mood. So then I'm having the ice cream so I can be in a good mood to be with that friend. It's very clear. That's what we're saying. It's a whole foraying. But this is the shtus that we're talking about. Yeah. Similarly, so now the Rosh was bringing it down. So what does it mean practically in the day-to-day life, especially like for a businessman, the being that a person recognizes? They need to daven. He needs to hear what he's saying. I'll go upon him minimally. And has to make sure they set aside time for learning. We have to have some minimum baseline standards for ourselves. Should daven every day. Should learn every day a little bit. Give some tzedakah. So the person doesn't come to any calculations. That's discussing. Yeah, like, am I going to daven today? Do I have time to daven? That question goes out the door. And it doesn't think about, am I going to lose money? Am I going to gain money? Money is not in the picture. Why? Because liyos kimuch laletzloi behechlet gamur asher hu tzarich lasois es shaloi hametzuve alav alpi teira mitzvah alam l'chazak neged taivas nefesh mahamis. He has to do what's important for him, what Hashem wants from him in regards to Torah mitzvahs. The person understands the calculation that's happening. It's not a calculation, but the person is saying to themselves, there's Hashem, and Hashem is in charge, and Hashem wants me to daven every day, and He wants me to learn every day. So I need to daven and learn. Hashem, the same Hashem that's in charge of how much parnasa comes, is telling me that I need to daven every day. I need to learn every day. When I daven, doesn't mean I just put on film and take it off. Well, I rashu davening. It means I daven and I say whatever I need to say. And for every person, that could be different. But that's the idea. And stand strong, and we stand strong against our desires. This is a very powerful message, very, very high level, but it's something we should all be striving to reach. We're not going to do what our heart desires. In any way, it's not happening. With great strength, we have this. Meaning like this. It's very important. Meaning, we have to recognize what we're doing, where it's coming from. That's the first step. Before all this comes into play, we have to understand where these things are coming from. And what happens is, and then we have to recognize also, we have a relationship with Hashem, and Hashem cares about us, and Hashem cares about what we do, and everything that we do makes a big difference. Once we understand those things, so it's not, what's the problem? It's ice cream. What's the big deal? So I'll eat, so I'll watch, I'll do whatever those things are that are permissible. When I'm talking about something that's forbidden, permissible. Why can't I do this? I don't understand. So understand that everything that we're given to that, it distorts us, and it ruins us, it affects us, it makes us less sensitive. You know, we struggle in life, we all have our struggles. One of the main reasons is because of this battle that we're not able to overcome. And what we're saying is we have to have the shtus kedusha. We have to be strong in these battles. And it doesn't mean chas v'shalom to get negative, like I said before, never should come out negative, but it should be a recognition that, is this beneficial for me? But again, we have to have this idea understood before we come to the test. When it comes to the test, like, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. It's like you know something, let's say you know cigarettes, a person knows cigarettes is bad for them. But you're hanging around people, everyone's smoking, it's bad. I'm not doing it. Like, it's not even a question. What happens to other people smoke? Because they haven't had this discussion. But you say to yourself, I want to be healthy, I want to live a long life, I want to live a healthy life. I can't smoke, it's bad for me. I'm not doing it. And this is what we're talking about. And we have to recognize all these things. Cigarettes are not forbidden. If you're above the age, whatever it is, you can buy cigarettes and smoke, and people do. And what we're saying is and just like that, when it comes to cigarettes, we say no, we recognize it, and we've been taught to say no to that, and we're able to stand strong. So too, we have to implement that idea, that style, and other things in our lives. That what is not serving me? What are the things that I'm doing that is not serving my purpose or why I'm meant to be here? And if it's not, we have to learn to have that strength, that shtus to kedusha, and say it's not happening anymore. Now it could be there's a system in place how to do it. It doesn't like to figure it out. But this is what we're saying. And this is the idea of shtus to kedusha. This is totally opposite of the tree of knowledge, good and bad. Not even according to holy seichel, even the kedusha, meaning there's logic, and there's a positive logic. There's logic in regards to Torah mitzvahs, and you think about it, and then you discuss it, and you ring about it, and you do the chabad, the chachma, the bin, and the das. But you're going, when talking about what we're talking about here, we're going above that. You go with the strength of the essence of the neshama. It's not a whole for bringing. It's a very simple calculation. Hashem likes this or not. Doesn't like it, can't do it. And just, cigarettes, bad, not doing it. And then you'll be able to connect afterwards to the das of holiness. And you'll be able to understand it and connect with it and really feel it. But it starts now, not with the you don't go from the feeling and understanding to the action. You go from the simple understanding that this is bad to the action, to then really understanding. And what's the result of this? You calm down the nefesh bahamas. If you don't eat junk food every day, it becomes easier and easier. His galus hakoiches and nefesh l'kis, and also will cause the nefesh l'kis to be more revealed, which means it makes life a lot easier. You sort of you flip everything around. At the moment you're going in the wrong direction, and you do a spin, and you spin yourself around to go the right direction. Both you have less of a taiva for it, and your nefesh l'kis is more pronounced, so it's easier. Umela. And automatically, then you can really be sensitive to these ideas. At this point, we're doing it because we remind ourselves that Hashem doesn't want this. It's bad for me, and we go do it. After you do that, you start to understand how really bad. You start to really feel how bad it was. Like, wow, it's like someone told me once, used to be an athlete. This is back in the day. The smoking wasn't known to be as bad, or was more acceptable. And he said he'd smoked one day, and he already noticed the difference. He had a das in him that he had recognized. But the first thing we're saying is we don't do it. And in that case, you don't do it, and then you're like, man, how do I even think of doing such a thing? Like, that's so bad, and it's like you learn about it, and all these studies how bad it is. Like, wow, that's crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. And that's what we do. We manage to transform ourselves. And a lot of times this is very eye-opening because we see ourselves and we don't recognize how off center. It's like one of the very important things is like when we're in our heads a lot, we speak to other people, and that sort of balances us. It makes us recognize things. It's like, if we're being very negative with ourselves, like, oh, I'm not so good. Speak to other people and just talk to them and be there for them and hear about them, and you'll realize that you're not so off. Be much harder on yourself. And this is what we're sort of transforming to the nefesh l'kis being more pronounced and nefesh bahamas being less strong. You start to be sensitive to yourself in a positive way and say, wow, I'm not so bad. I'm pretty good. And I have a lot of good things to do and a lot of things to accomplish. But nefesh l'kis is ma'asav b'haseichel al pi hadas v'cheshbon shnizbar el'el, like we said before. Afterwards, after you have the strength, suddenly you make yourself able to transform yourself to really understand and really connect with what you're doing. To finish off with the kitzur, someone that is nefesh l'kis is not revealed, shining within them. So they don't have it the first way of logically understanding and connecting, things like that, and they haven't done that yet. So you got to just be strong. Kabbalah soul, do what you got to do. Connect with Torah mitzvahs. Not without being overcomplicated. Just start doing. Then seichel machalish is a ratzain, because the seichel weakens the desire. The milas are ha'ikshus beratzain bilti mugbel, and we talked about the advantage of the akshanos, of the stubbornness, that it's unlimited, very strong. Ikshus, the kedusha, kvius itin la Torah, and being stubborn with times of Torah. Behider mitzvahs and fulfilling mitzvahs. Behider machlish as herish ativi, which diminishes the feeling of physicality and the desire for physicality. So, all of us, we should connect to this idea, and we should be able to hear our nefesh l'kis talking to us and recognize nefesh bahamas and put him in his place. Should have a very successful, enjoyable day.